I was looking at exemptions, and I did send out some emails last week, just kind of based on tentatively. Um, to be exempt, you have to have no more than 4 absences. You can have 4 absences, it's not more than that, in this class and in advisory. Of course, if you have more than 4 in advisory, you're not exempt from any finals. That means you got to take all your finals. So hopefully you haven't been absent more than 4 times from your advisory. But after that, and that's what I sent the emails based on last week. Last week I said, okay, who has already had more than 4 absences? So I went ahead and sent emails and said, it looks like you've already got more than 4 absences, so you're going to have to take the final. So I just laid out what it's going to look like. And for those of you that didn't, I sent emails saying, hey, so far it looks like, at least according to the absences, you could be exempt. So you should have gotten an email, one or the other, saying you've already got too many absences, or you don't yet, so don't be absent. So if you are not knocked out of exemptions already because of absences, remember you have to have a 75% in the class, and you have to have all of your work turned in. So if you go to Buzz, to that grade screen that I go to every week, and there are any missing assignments, that will make you take the final. So you don't want to have missing assignments. You want to make sure you get everything. Even if you score a 5% on it, it's turned in. And if you're missing it, right now it's counting as a 0. So 5% would be an improvement, sadly. So you need to go make sure you have nothing missing. No missing programs, no missing quizzes. Everything's turned in, including you need to turn in this week's assignment right away. For exemptions, I should get the final attendance report, I think Friday morning or Thursday afternoon. And then Friday, I will be sending out, hey, you're officially exempt. Have a great summer. Hopefully that's the email you'll get on Friday. So here's the thing. This assignment for this week is not due until Sunday night, because that's how it always is. But if you want to be exempt, you need to have it turned in by Thursday night. When I come in here Friday morning, I'm going to go through and start checking for exemptions. So anything you're missing from the whole semester, if you're trying to be exempt, needs to be turned in by Thursday night. Or technically, I'm not going to look at it till Friday morning. So 7 o'clock Friday morning, but I'm going to say Thursday midnight just to make it a nice deadline. But I'm not going to be checking it between midnight and 7 in the morning. So that's what you need to do, is make sure you get everything turned in if you're wanting to be exempt. Otherwise, everything for the whole semester will be due Tuesday at noon. So if you're missing something, it's like, I'm not going to be exempt anyway, but I have some missing assignments. Tuesday at noon will be the final deadline for the whole semester. After that, they're permanent zeros. So that's what you need to work on, is getting everything turned in by Thursday night for exemptions, by next Tuesday noon, just for a grade. So that's where you're going to stand on that. If you have to take the final, it will be released Tuesday morning. It will be due Thursday at noon. And you have to come to class next week. If you have to take the final, our class is going to be on Wednesday morning, because Monday is Memorial Day. So you have to come. If you have to take the final, you have to come to class Wednesday. Check in with me. All right, Mr. Brock, yes, I know I got to take the final. Hopefully you've already got the final done when you come to class, right? I'll say, oh, looks like you took the final yesterday. Have a great summer. If you haven't taken the final by the time you come to class on Wednesday, that's when you'll take your final, because that's what that class period is for, finals. So if you come to class, I said, okay, log in. You got to take the final. This is your class period. After you get done, have a great summer. So that's what next week's class is for, is to take the final if you don't already have it done ahead of time. But like I say, it won't be available until Tuesday at midnight, Tuesday morning, midnight. So you'll have it next week. So, okay, now that we've gone through all that, let's actually take a look at this week's lesson, because you're dying to get it all turned in so you can be exempt. But let's take a look. Okay, let's look at that grade screen I was talking about. This is where you want to make sure you don't have anything missing all the way down. We're on 7.04. Defense mechanisms are very, very last. Oh, it's actually due 11 a.m. The final is on Thursday next week. May 26th is this coming Sunday. So 7.04. And then the final, which is due Thursday at 11. I forgot. 11 o'clock is our deadline. But you should have it done long before that because you got to come Wednesday and take it if you haven't already got it done. 7.04. Let's take a look. Defense mechanisms, our last lesson of the year. Defense mechanisms. So what comes to mind when you think of cybersecurity defense mechanisms, right? You think of like some kind of bear trap or something where someone tries to step in the computer room and no, if you answered firewalls, that'd be a better answer. Antivirus applications, software patches, those are the defense mechanisms we're talking about. All of these are considered defense mechanisms and provide a strong foundation against potential cyber threats. So let's see how these are used to fight the war on cybercrime. Oh, here's a little video.
A long time ago, in a universe far, far away. Wait a minute. That can't be right. Oh, okay, I've got it now. A not so long time ago, in, well, this universe, a battle is being fought. But not a battle for space, one for your confidential data. Like the captain of a starship, cybersecurity pros set up defenses against those looking to steal personal information. Attacks can come from viruses, malware, or hostile traffic. Cyber attackers are creative, so it takes an arsenal of shields to fully protect valuable information. Industry professionals use 3 primary cybersecurity shields. First is antivirus software, which is specifically designed to detect and destroy computer viruses. Next, there's anti-malware software. It's designed to detect software that tries to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access to a computer system. And finally, there are protocol analyzers, one of the most important tools in network security. These are used to detect hostile or malicious traffic passing over an unauthorized port. It takes all 3 shields to have a solid defense system in place. As you explore the future of cybersecurity, keep defense mechanisms in mind. They're the key to winning the battle for your information. Now, may the shield be with you.
Okay, that's a little better entertainment than some of the little cartoon cheesy videos we had in the other chapters. But defense mechanisms. Wonderful. Let's look at the next page. All right, security control types. So a security control, let's see their definition of that. It's a safeguard or countermeasure to avoid, detect, counteract, or minimize security risks to physical property, information, computer systems, or other assets. So pretty broad definition. A security control, also known as a countermeasure, is designed to make an information system secure. It's also designed to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data and information systems. Security controls can be divided into 3 broad categories. So number 1 is administrative. These controls refer to the policies and procedures and guidelines that define the employee actions. Example, so this can apply to an employee hiring and termination, security awareness training, disaster preparedness and recovery plans, and consistent security audits. All right, the second part is technical. Technical controls include hardware and software designed to protect assets like encryption, firewalls, smart cards, network authentication, access control lists. All of those are technical. And then the third type is physical. Physical controls are items that deter access to buildings and hardware, like security cameras, alarm systems, security guards, photo IDs, door locks, something as simple as to lock the door, and biometric devices like a fingerprint scanner or an eye scanner. So control functions. So additionally, these controls, the administrative, technical, and physical, can be divided into types, depending on what kind of function of the control they have. Could be preventative. That's any security measures designed to stop unwanted activity from occurring. That's the best kind of controls, to stop it from ever happening in the first place. One example would be like a security fence around a building, keep unauthorized intruders out. Detective controls. That's any security measures implemented to detect an alert to unauthorized activity in progress or after it occurred. A home alarm is a good example of a detection system. So that lets you know if there's an activity in progress or someone's broke in somewhere where they shouldn't be. Deterrent, this is good also. Deterrent controls discourage possible attackers by putting on a noticeable show of security. This psychologically discourages an attacker from attempting an intrusion. Examples of sign that says something like no trespassing, because that mentally just makes them think, somebody's going to be looking for me if I try to go in there. Corrective controls, that's any measures taken to repair damage to their prior state following an unauthorized or unwanted activities. Might include patching a system or quarantining a virus where it can't do more damage. Compensating controls don't prevent an attack, but can restore the system, like a data backup. So if you get more effort on the first ones, preventative, detective, deterrent, hopefully you won't need the corrective or compensating, because it's too late when this has happened. Knowledge check, a business installs motion-activated lights around its building perimeter. What category and function is this security control? So here's a picture of some security lights. Kind of looks like a school building. Well, let's see. That would be probably a deterrent, you think? Because it's not necessarily preventive. It just watches. It might be a good deterrent. Let's see what they say it is. It's a physical control, and their functions are both detecting and deterring. So they kind of categorize it twice. It is a deterrent, but it's also detecting to see if somebody has gone on and done something anyway. But yeah, it's definitely a physical control because it's something you physically install. All right, layered security. This is considered the best protection because you have multiple layers. Right, with layered security in place, an attacker must get through multiple defense mechanisms. So risks are reduced with layered security. No single control is considered untouchable, but layered security can delay an attacker until the intrusion is detected, and the efficiency of control can be measured by how long it delays the attack. All right, so let's look at this scenario. Consider the following scenario. A student creates a presentation, saves the file to a USB drive. So then they place the USB drive on the teacher's desk. So the teacher finds the device and plugs it in without giving it much thought. Oh yeah, here's one of my students' work. I'm going to plug it in. From that point, the teacher's computer is potentially vulnerable to malware or another compromise. If there was something else on that USB disk, whether the student might not even known it, but the teacher's plugged it in. In addition to the student's presentation, the USB drive could carry a malware, a Trojan, or a virus to the teacher's computer. So let's select each item to learn more about the 3 types of layered security. You have these 3 little icons right here. Let's look at this one down here first. Security controls on the computer scan the disk for malware or block access automatically. Right? I know on my computer at home, when I plug in a USB drive, it'll automatically scan it instantly to see if there's anything dangerous on it. Intrusion detection. If the computer is compromised, intrusion detection and logging alerts could prevent the malware from spreading on the network. It may mess up the teacher's computer, but the network intrusion detection system should isolate it where it can't go beyond that teacher. And proper user training could prevent the USB drive from being left unattended on a desk, being used without a virus and malware scan first. So it's not a bad thing when you plug something in, especially if it's something that someone else has given you, to have it scanned. Countermeasures. A network-based intrusion prevention system, or NIPS, they are all these little acronyms for everything in computers, is a countermeasure. It's used to monitor network traffic for suspicious activity. Its main function is to actively protect the network from threats like unauthorized access or denial of service attacks. This is done by analyzing the protocol activity using a protocol analyzer. So what's the definition of countermeasure? Is an action taken to counteract a danger or threat, and a protocol analyzer is a tool, which is either hardware or software, used to capture and analyze signals and data traffic over a communication channel. A drawback to NIPS is that a false positive denies legitimate traffic. Could do that, could lock out a user that is allowed to be on there because it thinks something is awry, and it can't examine the encrypted traffic if it denies it as a false positive. So this is where a host-based system, or HIPS, we have NIPS, we have HIPS, can work in tandem with NIPS. A NIPS device might prevent a denial of service attack, where a HIPS solution could focus on the protection of the software and data on a host. So here you see some actual hardware for the NIPS right here, where you have all these users that are connected to a router, has the NIPS system with the firewall, the internet. If it goes to the users, it has a firewall in between it. Over here is extra devices, the web and DNS email onto this hard drive, which also has a NIPS protection. So a NIPS system can reset a network session, apply firewall filters to reject traffic, reduce the bandwidth speed, modify packets, and run a script or other processes. A HIPS system, see, these all have the HIPS down here in this diagram, monitor log files, system integrity, network interfaces, and process launches. So it runs agent software and manages and sends alerts regarding suspicious users. So it's generally some software that's installed there. All right, last page of our lesson. Knowledge check. All right, gotta select the best answer. I'm opening the chat where I can see your answers. Give it your best guess here. No, you don't lose any points if you're wrong. Which is considered an administrative control? Is it the antivirus software? Is it the network firewall? Is it the policy handbook? Or is it the security camera? You got this. This one isn't difficult if you're paying attention during the lesson. Which of these would be administrative? The administrators are usually the people in charge. So this is some kind of control that the administrators have. Giving you hints there. Locke says policy handbook. Anyone agree with that? You guys asleep already? Come on. Policy handbook. We have agreement. We have a couple of people choosing this. Absolutely. The administrators set the policies. Rowan's with it too. Let's submit our answer. That's correct. Absolutely. The policies and procedures are considered administrative controls. Question number 2. Which control function describes any security measure designed to prevent unwanted activity? Goodness, did they give us the answer right there in the question? Would it be preventive, compensating, corrective, deterrent? Okay, I'm just going to select that. It asks which ones wants to prevent. Surely it's preventive. Yes, the preventive control function is responsible for preventing. Who would have guessed? All right, here we go. What is considered a drawback to NIPS? Yes, and I'm waiting on your answer on this one. It's considered outdated technology. A false positive will deny legitimate traffic. There is no drawback to NIPS. This is a trick question. Or it does not actively protect the network. False positive. Yeah, if it didn't actively protect the network, why are we even talking about it, right? Why do anyone use NIPS if it doesn't actually protect anything? So that one's obviously wrong. But yes, the false positive. Correct. To deny legitimate traffic from accessing what it needs to get. Last question. Which device is an example of physical access control? Physical. Video camera, policy handbook, firewall, or a router. Which of those is actual physical access control? Because there's more than one of those things that's physical. Like a handbook is a physical thing. A router is a physical thing. A video camera is a physical thing. The firewall is actually software, but so we know it's not the firewall because that's not a physical thing. But we're talking about access control. Let's see if anybody gets this right. I'm just going to Just going to throw somebody off on this one. I just feel it. Somebody's going to give me the wrong answer. Yes? No, you guys are pretty sharp. That probably won't happen. The person who gave me the wrong answer didn't come to class today. That's probably it. We are missing 4 people. Oh, nobody wants to guess because they think, uh-oh, I don't want to be the one that gets this wrong. Nobody wants to guess. Let's try video camera. Yes, a video camera. The router doesn't actually stop anything. It just directs, it just helps you get to where you need to go. So the router does it. The handbook is not access control. It's just setting the policies to help. But the video camera is actually to help control because it's one of the things that can tell as a deterrent a lot of times. So, all right. That's all of the lesson because page 7 just says read the lesson. Right. Complete the reading in this lesson. Make sure you understand the concepts and then take the quiz. So let's look at our last assignment of the year. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. All about what we just read. Defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms. And you should have more than one attempt at that. So if you don't do well the first time, you got another shot. All right, guys. Oh, wait. We do have 3 classes this week if you need help with anything, if you're trying to get everything turned in. Friday is an 8A. Wednesday, of course, we have class. So we have class Wednesday and Friday. If your grade is below 70%, or if you need help, like Wednesday, you find out I'm missing a program or something. I really want to get this turned in because that's the only thing I'm missing, and I think I can be exempt. Come see me Wednesday. I'll help you figure out what's going on with your program. All right. Get it started. When you run into problems, that's when you come see me. And I love debugging programs. Well, I wouldn't say I love it, but it can be fun. Okay, guys, it's been a fun year in programming. You guys have gained a lot of skills. I've saw some really cool programs for you guys. So that's all I've got. So you guys, if I don't see you again, have a great summer. Otherwise, if I see you Wednesday or Friday because your grade's below 70 or you need help, and I don't have many people that qualify for that, or if you need to take the final, then I'll see you next Wednesday. But otherwise, have a great summer, guys.